Color abounds here at Winterthur. My name is Carol Long and I'm curator of the garden, and I'm going to be taking you on a little tour of what to see at Winterthur, a little bit of commentary. We are here at Azalea Woods, and this is actually one of my favorite times, is that little preview. The woodland floor is filled with a lot of color, and you can just see the buds of the azaleas before they come into full opening beauty. I like this time because it reminds me of little holiday lights that are on the azaleas. It's a precious little time, and the color is just a little bit more quiet and refined. So I hope you enjoy this tour. A lot is coming alive on the woodland floors here at Winterthur. I am in Azalea Woods now and taking a look at Anemone apennina, or the Italian Windflower. And this is one of our pride and joys. It just carpets the woodland floor. Gentle breezes help to move the flowers, and it is a display to behold. There's always the first to come to the party, and here it is. This is the first rhododendron camphori, or torch azalea, to come into flower in Azalea Woods, giving us a wonderful forecast for the future. One of the highlights of the Winterthur garden, in my opinion, is the mass effect that one plant can have. And here, for the most part, the white that we're looking at is Trillium grandiflorum, white wake robin, one of our natives, and it just has the happy place in Azalea Woods. With the masses of Virginia bluebells, or mertensia, that we have here, it's fun to be able to look and find the variants, like this pink one. At the edge of Azalea Woods is a beech tree that has this wonderful branch that just extends down and touches the ground, hits the elbow, and then goes up and continues on. I've tried to capture this for a long time with not great success, so hopefully the video enables me to do that. Here on the conservatory lawn is a close-up of Claytonia, or spring beauties. I hope this captures the mass that you'll see. You can see the grass color, and then this whitish pink that is just popping up all along the conservatory lawn. It's actually one of my favorite of the spring ephemerals. It's one of our natives, and it just happily pops up just above the grass line to make for a beautiful display this time of year. One of everybody's favorites, especially as you're driving along the tram, is this cut-leaf Japanese maple that is at Magnolia Bend. Many plein air artists come in and try and capture this beauty, and seeing the curving of its shape and the trunk and the branches. I wasn't sure if I was going to see any magnolia petals still on the magnolias here after the storms that we've had and the blustery winds, but they persisted. The Winterthur garden is a celebration in timing. And here we are at the Lathamiria gates that lead into the Pinetum, and what's flowering behind the gates is Exocorda, or pearl bush, and it gets its name, its common name, because of the celebration of the buds looking like little pearls. When you're visiting a garden, there's always something that is coming out of flower and then going into flower. And we're saying goodbye to the forsythia but saying hello to the colorful flowers of redbud. Can you turn the fragrance up on your computer? I'm in the sundial garden and just have these wonderful wafts of fragrance from the Korean spice Viburnum. Oh, and of lilac too. Apple blossom quince with happy bees. Quince has been flowering for a long time here in the sundial garden in Pinetum. These wonderful green flowers are the buds of Viburnum macrocephalum sterile, or snowball viburnum. And here's one that is just beginning to open. I almost like the green of the flowers a little bit better. There's nothing like green flowers or newly emerging leaves or the greening of the grass that really helps to heighten the flower color of the spring garden. In the Pinetum, we're seeing the unfurling of the new fronds of Christmas fern, and they have this wonderful silvery type of look as they're coming up with their dark green leaves from last year on the ground. It's a wonderful moment to capture. They're very whimsical, and the breeze is just kind of blowing them very gently. The Blue Atlas Cedar Circle in the Pinetum, I'm getting a lot to view. Lovely fragrance too from the Iphion on the ground, and a lot of the crab apples are in flower. And new to this week's color are the flowers of rhododendron schlippenbachii. It's a really lovely soft pink that I'm coming to now, also known as the royal azalea. H.F. du Pont would often use color to lead you through the garden. And with this quiet, intimate path so full of color, it beckons you down to see what's at the end. As gardeners, a lot of times we are looking at eye level or down on the ground, but the arborists here at Winterthur have taught us also to look up, and there is a treat in doing that. As I'm looking up at the flowers at the Parkman crabapple, we all learn from one another. Between the sundial and the Pinetum is this lovely grove of Sargent crabapple. And I know as a kid this would be where I would play. This gnarly old, beautifully sculptural trees. Next week we'll be in flower, and maybe will be a little too dark to take a look at their shapes. So I thought I would bring it to you now. It's the many colors of spring. These are the emerging leaves of Magnolia Wada's memory. And it's just to show sometimes new leaves have this wonderful purple or orange or russet color. They're almost colors of fall, but it's the colors of the newly emerging leaves. Continuing in that theme of different colored foliage, these are the leaves of Epimedium sulphureum. The flowers are finishing, and there's just this wonderful etching of color in the heart-shaped leaves. I'm here at the quarry, as you can see by the wonderful rocks here. And then turning here are the fiery new leaves of Pieris. Don't need flowers with that kind of color. Japanese primrose and the trickling of the spring-fed stream. Don't need much more than that. Enchanted Woods earns its name, especially at this time of year. And the whole woodland floor is just filled with one of the sweetest wildflowers that we have, Virginia Bluebell. It was a play area historically for H.F. du Pont's children. And then would lead into the sundial, which was also the tennis court and the croquet court for the family. These are the flowers of magnolia butterflies, and this is a later flowering magnolia that usually will avoid the spring frosts, although we haven't had to worry about that this year. As corny as this sounds, whenever the daffodils are in flower in the fields, my mind goes back to the opening scene of The Sound of Music, where Julie Andrews is singing "The Hills Are Alive" with the sound of music. And I don't know if it's music, but the hills are alive. I'll end my little journey with you today talking about the cutting garden. This is an area still hosts daffodils, and some peonies are coming up, some later flowers emerging. And this is where H.F. du Pont had fields where he would cut flowers for his displays within the house and arrangements. And as bittersweet as this experience is, we are in a historical garden, and I feel very privileged to be experiencing this garden kind of as if I was one of H.F. du Pont's private gardeners. And I'm glad that you could come along and enjoy this with me.